So one thing you guys are probably well aware about me is I don't play along nicely with some people in the video game industry, especially a lot of journalists. A lot of journalists, quote unquote, do not like me, and that's fine. I used to be a journalist myself. I ran a large Nintendo website, Nintendo Enthusiast. I understand the hustle and bustle and the grind, but a lot of these people have egos. A lot of these websites have a certain stench to them that it just can't get rid of. It's something that just seems to be prevalent, and especially in the video game industry where there's a perceived hierarchy of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do and who should be able to do what. And I'm sick of it. I hate things like that because I feel like these people are resting on their laurels and just expecting things and opportunities to be handed to them willy-nilly just because of their name, not because of the quality of work that they do. One of the websites I hate is Polygon. They're kind of the taint of the video game industry, but if they're the taint, Kotaku is definitely the stinky anus of the video game industry. They bring nothing to the table. If Kotaku went away tomorrow, the world would not be any worse for wear. Yes, people would lose their jobs, but I'm sure those people would bounce back just fine. And the fact that these people sniff their own farts and get high off their own supply and think they're the greatest thing in the world and they're entitled to everything just shows me how talented they perceive themselves to be. So it should be no trouble to get in any sort of new job experience. Well, Kotaku has been at a little bit of a war with Nintendo lately, and it's absolutely hilarious to me because I go to war with Nintendo quite often. I know they don't like me. I know they keep a keen eye on me of what I can and can't do, and I'm okay with it. I accept it. I understand that that is a situation, and when situations may arise, I'll talk about them just to give you guys sort of a back-end information, just to sort of get you guys behind the scenes, but for the most part, I'm pretty understanding with a lot of these things. Well, recently we had a Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom preview event. This took place about a week or so ago. We had Gene Park, one of the journalists that I do like, on the Spawncast to talk about this event because he went to it. There was one in New York City. There were some across the seas and like Europe and stuff like that. It was a whole big to-do. But one website was not invited to that. One media outlet was not invited to that, and that is Kotaku. Here we could see here American Truck Songs 9, the senior reporter at Kotaku, with his email right there. It looks like his name is Ethan. Ethan says, "It's preview day for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a huge game I would love for Kotaku to be informed its millions of readers about firsthand. Unfortunately, Nintendo still has it blacklisted from advanced coverage, a move I would argue is unprofessional and coercive." Now, holy hell of sense of entitlement. Why do you think Nintendo doesn't like you, Kotaku? Could it be because of the fact that when Metroid Dread came out, you specifically told people how to pirate the game? Maybe that has something to do with it. I find it funny how you are trying to take a moral high ground with this situation, saying that it's not a loss necessarily to Nintendo, but it's a loss to your readers, thus making it unprofessional. Your millions of readers. I defy you to prove that you have millions of readers, because as we all know, YouTube has kind of taken over a lot of video game print websites. That's not a knock on it or anything like that, but that's like saying newspapers and magazines are still as relevant as they were 50 years ago. That's obviously not the case. The world constantly changes, but this was a sad song for them. And then the owner, the editor-in-chief over at Kotaku decided to chime in on this as well. You know you're an insufferable human being when you make a tweet on Twitter, a public forum for discussion, and you turn off replies for it. Patricia Henderson, who I remember when they became editor-in-chief over at Kotaku, they promised that things were going to get better, this, that, and the other, and they still do the mindless dribble that they always do. Let's get this straight. The Nintendo thing was not over any of the talking point that keeps getting repeated and assumed. It was that I did not let them line edit an article after sitting down with them, hearing them out, and making good faith changes. Look at you. Look at you. You're the biggest virtue signaler in the world. You're the most professional video game article writer on the absolute planet. You would not let Nintendo line change something. You know what's funny about that? I've heard around some water cooler talk and some murmurings online about what this story actually is. And supposedly, don't take this as factual, but this is just something I have heard. The story was the fact that of something that we talked about, where an employee of GameStop allegedly leaked Tears of the Kingdom's OLED edition before it came out, and it was a stupid situation. Supposedly Nintendo got this individual fired. It's something that we talked about on this channel. I have heard that that is actually what Nintendo wanted them to change, because they had nothing to do with the employee getting let go. It's really a he said, she said situation, and obviously somewhere in the middle is the truth, but I think that's something that could have potentially happened. Whatever the case may be, though, Kotaku, you're not entitled to shit. Nobody is entitled to shit from the video game industry. I don't understand why people complain, I didn't get a review copy for this, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Okay, nobody's entitled to anything. It's all about how you handle yourself when you don't get your way. When you know, when something doesn't go your way, do you act like a freaking child, an imbecile child? Or do you just, you know, wipe your dirt off your knees and say, hey, you know what? I didn't get this one. I'll try to get the next one, though. I'll try to do quality coverage so that people want to work with me. Well, here's what Kotaku decided to do. You know, we got to come up with something Tears of the Kingdom related. We got to come up with something because we can't get that precious preview coverage that everyone had. Let's do this. Everything we're learning about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom from the leaks, because yes, like we talked about in the article the previous day, or the video that we made a couple days ago, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has indeed leaked online. The full game is online and available right now for you to download. You don't even need really a beefy PC in order to do it. Of course, you could play it on a hack Switch. So what does Kotaku do? You know what? Let's spoil our readers. Let's spoil the internet by spreading information about what this game is doing in terms of leaks. Now, yes, this is a situation where you could be like, okay, you know, just don't click the website or something like that. But I just find it very ironic, all the timing of this stuff. And look who wrote this. It was our buddy, Ethan Gatch. You remember Ethan, don't you? The one who cried about not having any sort of publicity and not having any press access to Tears of the Kingdom. We're to the service. It's disrespectful. You know what's disrespectful, Ethan? Acting like a bitch about a situation. So you didn't get your way. So what do? You try to ruin other people's experiences with this game. You try to ruin the game by informing your readers about things that have leaked. I understand it's something that's going to be on the internet. I understand that people are streaming this game and getting hit with DMCAs, but you just have to sit there and look at the optics of this. And, you know, Kotaku, if you happen to be watching this, you know, you have to look at the optics of a situation. I understand that Nintendo's never going to work with me. They don't like me. We've gone to war several times. That's okay. I still do what I can to get my viewers coverage on stuff that I think they'll find interesting, on topics they'll find interesting. I don't whine, I don't piss, I don't moan. I will talk about the situation just to let people know that, hey, you know, it's not like I get flowed, you know, product by Nintendo or something like that. I just do it to let people know it's a story to tell, but I'm not bitter about it. I'm not sitting there crying saying, why wasn't it me? Why wasn't it me? And then taking that attitude, not, you know, of wanting to work with the company and then doing things that will obviously piss off the company. Nintendo's not going to be happy about you talking about this game leaking online first and foremost, and then talking about the leaks. And you wonder why Nintendo doesn't want to work with you in this situation. I know it sounds like I'm simping for Nintendo in this, and I'm saying Nintendo is in the right. But when it comes to Kotaku, Nintendo is in the right. Kotaku doesn't deserve a damn thing. They don't add anything to the video game industry except conflict and creating situations and making situations arise that don't exist and trying to just be a weirdo force. And then when, you know, writing stupid articles that make no sense, and then when people push back on them, they're like, you're attacking me. Don't attack me. I'm allowed to have an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. And we've already established that you're the stinky anus of the video game website industry. So it all should make sense to you. You should know that some stink more than others. Oh, Kotaku. Anytime I get a chance to dunk on you, I will. I'm sure you got millions of readers, but you got 18 comments on an article from 7 hours ago. And I'm supposed to believe you have millions of readers. Okay. Okay, keep riding that high horse. You know, keep virtue signaling. Keep doing what you guys do best. Being the laughing stock of the video game industry, and the real industry people, the real websites, the people who, you know, they don't have anything to lose, people like me who don't have to work alongside of you because we're not, you know, video game journalists together and run into people at an event. I could just laugh at you and make fun of you because you're a laughing stock and you wonder why. You wonder why you don't get invited to shit. Clear as crystal, man. Let me know what you think of this situation in the comments section down below. Obviously, I'm having a lot of fun with this topic, but I just hate entitled people. You're not entitled to anything in life except like air and water, maybe. We need to try to, you know, charge you for water and stuff like that. But you got to earn stuff. You got to build relationships. You got to be professional. And when people, you know, don't want to work with you for whatever reason, figure out why they don't want to work with you, because it seems like everyone else can understand why you didn't get any sort of access to Tears of the Kingdom. Yet here you are, completely left in the dark, wondering, waiting. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.